Hi everyone, good day. Well, today I'm just going to do some review regarding about this board that I've actually done. As you can see, it's actually nicely built and you can place stuff on it and you can rotate it. Alright, I'm just kidding, alright? I'll be right back. Okay, this is actually the main features of this video itself. In fact, it's actually the casing and all the components that I've actually fitted in. Now, while I'm actually doing this journal, right, I've been using this computer, be it I'm actually doing in progress, the molding and etc. So it's been working fine. Now, just to show you that what I've actually done so far. Now, just to screen from the top to the bottom, alright, this is actually how it looks like. There are some additional modes that I've actually not done, which is actually my graphic card. I've not actually placed it in. And of course the 120 VGA cooler, which I've actually mode for my card. Now, having to say this, right, building this PC on this casing here, the Liancool 2, is a bliss, as I mentioned on another video. Now, I'm just going to take you how easy it is for me to actually fit the components. First off, the radiator itself, okay, from the front, okay, let me just take out the front bezel. Having the front bezel taken off, right, just to let you guys know, I'm not going to remove this. In fact, this whole tray here, which is actually meant for placing the fans or your radiator, it can be removed out. If you search on Liancool 2 features, right, I believe there are a lot of videos stating that, you know, the front is actually a take out. And I should say that mounting this radiator itself, let me just clear this one side. Now, the radiator that I'm actually using, or should I say the AIO that I'm using, right, it's in fact a Arctic liquid freezer 2, 280 mm, that comes with 140 mm fans, but I've actually removed that and placed my own. These are Arctic too because I find that this airflow, right, the static pressure is better than the original ones, and it does prove the fact that it does pull a lot of air. Okay, so fitting this, right, is not a problem. It's pretty spacious, as you can see. Now, do take note that this radiator here, right, is not like the other AIOs, whereby it's only 25 mm. This is actually 30. And the fan itself, right, coming from Arctic, right, it's not 25 mm at height. It's actually 27 mm at height. So total, right, you will be having about 57 mm at height, okay? Or should I say width? So, as you can see, there's still some clearance. Now, on the experience on Liancool 2, right, I did mention that I've actually taken out the hard disk cage. As you can see, my cabling right now, right, it's way spacious. I can just lay them nice and easy. And of course, the LED strips, or should I say the addressable LED strips that I've actually mounted here. Okay, I have another video stating that I found something real interesting, which is for this, right, by right, the connection point to get the source from, right, it's over the other side. Let me just swing over. It should be here. Okay, this should be connected to the ARGB that I showed you earlier at the other side. However, I find that this route here, right, if I were to route it, right, the cable would be like kind of like messy, and it might be dangling from the top or dangling from the bottom. So instead, I have actually, okay, let me just show you here. I've actually mounted the connection, right. As you can see, this is actually, okay, the sleeve cable is mounted inside, which is actually top of the controller itself, where it allows you to actually plug the USB, your headset, your power on, reset switch, and the RGB control, which is actually on the left hand side. So I've actually mounted here. Okay, then it goes all the way from here all the way down to here. So it's a much more neater route. Now, next thing is actually the space itself, right? As you can see that I've actually mounted two 140 mm fans at the top, and you can see that there are still space for me to actually feather moving to the back itself. Oh, before I move to the back, right? As I mentioned, that I have actually done the sleeving, sleeving on the case itself, so that it was not scratch my cables. Overview of the casing itself, right? It's pretty neat, I should say. Okay, I like it a lot. And facing the back, right? As you know, that all cable management is in fact covered by the two big case. So if I am to remove it, now removing the cover that covers up your cable management, right? It's just by thumb screws. Okay, you can actually take this bracket out. Okay, this is actually how it looks like. Alright, cable management, it's pretty neat and easy. Okay, one thing that I truly like about this, right, it does come with this bracket here. Okay, this is actually supposed for you to place any aftermarket, or should I say, the vendor controllers, things like ARGBs, your fan controllers, the ones that allow you to actually plug multiple fan controllers and you want to hide it. You can actually have this plate, right, to paste your controller on it. I have actually made use of a cheap controller, I should say, which I've actually pasted here. This is the controller that controls my Fantex Halo. Okay, as you can see, it routes. This is actually the remote control, the IR sensor that picks up my remote control. Then this is actually the power source, which I routed all the way to here. So, having to say this, overall, it's very neat, spacious, no clutter, because I've actually taken out the hard disk cage. And I might want to actually do something about the bottom here. Okay, probably place another fan. I would say 92mm fan, or maybe a 60mm fan, depends. Okay, one thing that you might want to consider to do this yourself, which I actually have done. Now, some of the cables, right, is actually, especially for the Fantex Halo, right, the cables I will need to actually route to the back. So this is actually the back. So while doing the cable management itself, right, if there's nothing to clip okay, they do provide all this here, okay, at the side, but I find that if I were to actually cable tie the clips over here, okay, let me just zoom in. Okay, if you do the covering with this, right, with this, right, you will tend to see the cables lingering at the side here, which is going to be very ugly. So what I did is to go to a dollar store or value shop. Okay, I got this at a dollar shop, which comes in a pack of 18 clips. So you can actually just stick it and to hold your cables, as you can see over here. I've done one here and done one over here. So you can easily tuck your cables, okay? Having this will actually cover it. So it will look neater. Now, do be careful when you place this cover back. Do not mount this, okay, the top section here first, then mount this. Reason being, right, if you to mount this first and then this, right, if you have cables that coming off from the sides, it might just cut it because you can't see it. As you can see, okay, let me just show you here. Okay, I'm just gonna mount this back. Okay, as you can see that I've actually mounted this back and there is opening over here. And see this thing that is actually protruding out? Okay, let me just zoom in. Okay, this thing that is actually protruding out. So if you were to place this top section here first and then this, you might scratch this. And the disadvantage, right, is this. And also, if you were to mount this first, right, you're not able to see this cable here going through this stroud. Okay, so you might accidentally cut the cables if you have a controller that's placed over here. Okay, the top is actually mounted, so I'm gonna mount this. So take note here, see, I have to wedge in. I can't see really where is the cutting going. Alright, it might end up the cable, right, is stuffing at the side here instead of here. Okay, it might just clip here instead of here, and due to the fact that there's this grooving here. So if I were to mount this way, right, I have to be real careful. See, I have to actually angle it properly. Okay, and to fit it in, which is intent very clumsy. So do make sure that always mount this first before you mount that. Okay, just a tip on that. Welcome back. Okay, I've actually fit my I'm not going to place the tempered glass, the side panels and the bottom casing because I'm still working with this case itself, though I'm actually using it. So yeah, so basically I've actually mentioned that I've actually done my own ARGB strips, okay, to actually connect to the controller itself. If you guys are interested to know, right, there is a video on this. Just click on the top right hand corner where you have the info. And I've actually done the fan halos, or should I say the fan halos with my own custom controller. So let's begin. Now, as I mentioned, see, it does light up the custom ARGBs that I've done, the strip over here. Okay, then I can actually switch. Okay, static colors, and of course, as and when, right, I'm not a kind of person that likes RGBs or ARGBs. I just put there just for fun, okay, just for the sake of doing a video, I should say. So at times I can just off this totally. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it on. Now another thing that I've actually done, right, in fact, the halos here, I'm not too sure if you can see. Okay, I have a remote with me here. Okay, this is actually a chip controller. So as I turn on, as you can see, this is red, this is green, this is blue. Okay, you can select all kinds of colors. Okay, then I can just, you know, do it fading, etc. So it just blends along with the strips. Okay, I can even do fade. And if you do not want the lights, just off it. And one thing about this, right, in fact, I like the white itself. It's very bright. Okay, this halo in fact does a good job on providing white, though the fan blades are black. So I've actually tested, as in I switch off the lights at night, I should say, these are pretty bright. I don't even need the desk lamp to actually light up my desk. So pretty good. There will be one more at the back itself where I am actually doing another mode for my graphic cards itself. Okay, the progress on the graphic card itself, right, I've actually thrown away the shroud, I mean the cover itself that comes with a 40 fan and the disgusting heat sink. So if you don't know what I'm actually talking about, click on the top right hand corner where it says that experience with the, or should I say the Zotac 1070 Ti graphic card. So it does show you that how dirty this graphic card is and the corrosion part, etc. So I've actually decided to mode this. So this is actually the progress. I'm just gonna make use of this to do the covering of the graphic card itself, and also to integrate the Frostflow 120 VGA cooler, the AIO itself. So once I'm done, right, I will actually do up another video on how I actually do it, the process of it. So yeah, that's it. So overall, I'm actually quite happy with the outcome of this casing with all the components. It's nicely done. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.